I'm just getting back into town late last night. Good God, I didn't get home till almost midnight. Went down to Oxford, Mississippi to watch Ole Miss put belt to ass against South Carolina. Shout out to college football if any of you are fans. Anyways, I did a lot of thinking during this trip and also a lot of scrolling as well, and I came to the realization that it is over for the prison genre, unfortunately. For those of you still telling the prison stories, and good on you for doing so, there's some great storytellers on this platform. I consider myself one as well, too. So I take a little bit of offense to this also, as should anyone else who considers themselves a good teller of their stories, the war stories from the time that they served. It is time to go ahead and hang up the prison boots. Folks, I didn't expect a day like this to come, but it has. I think back to the earlier days of After Prison Show at the height of the success of this channel, and some of my worst fears, just to be honest with you, was somebody bigger, badder, better looking. Forgive me, I got a haircut recently, so I'm kind of feeling myself. I always knew the day would come where somebody better would come along. You know, my 15 minutes of fame would dissipate to somebody else taking the spotlight. And many others have come and excelled far better than I ever did. And good on them for doing so. But never could I have imagined that we would reach a day and age. I never thought that I would live long enough to see AI taking over the entire world. Maybe it's been here for longer than I've realized, but all of a sudden, right now, in the day and age that we live in, you don't know what to believe when it comes to social media content. There's so much AI content coming out. I don't know if you guys have seen the Bob Ross cat videos. They're pretty freaking funny. The Jake Paul AI videos. I thought it was illegal to make an AI video that impersonates like a real person. But people are finding a workaround to be able to do so. And they're doing it. And folks, the AI saturation is starting to spread to the prison genre. I guess it should come as no surprise that people would start making prison content with AI created videos. It was interesting to watch the entire evolution of the prison genre as one of the founding fathers of it myself, where it was new people coming on the scene with new experiences, and some of those people taking it to the extreme in their way of telling prison stories. A great example is a guy by the name of Joe Baker. Joe Baker actually created an entire prison cell block in his house. Talk about being state-struck. Joe Baker, I like that guy a lot. I was actually the first person to ever interview him long before he ever started doing prison content. So I got nothing but respect for him. I got nothing but respect for the people who were the most innovators in the prison genre. Joe Baker was a great example of that. Wes Watson, as much as he is hated and frowned upon. Hey, buddy, man, listen, man, when you're in the private jet and in the Bugattis and in the really expensive cars, you're doing it. And others as well, too. I mean, this is not for me to glaze at all. I want to get to the point of this, which is, you know, now innovation has taken it to a place that you can't compete with. It doesn't matter if you've got a prison cell built in your living room. From there, the evolution turned to really the content that was coming out of the prison. So the guys who were out of the prison were having a tough time competing with the guys who were in the prisons. Dog walking your daddy like a dog down there in Georgia. Firebombing a set of stairs just to cook a prison meal. How do you compete with that? Sitting in front of a green screen trying to tell a war story from the time that you served. Well, now the evolution has taken it to a point that I kind of feel like it's over for the genre. You look at some of this content that's coming out, and who's even putting this together, this AI content? We're going to look at some of it here today, and you be the judge. Do you think that this is the future, this is the wave, this is the end of a genre that was once so captivating, so change-inspiring and invoking? I want to share with you something. I met a guy down in Mississippi when I went to the Ole Miss football game this past weekend, a young man by the name of Silas. Silas plays music. I actually met him in a restroom. He was playing guitar in the restroom. I thought he was putting on a concert. Turns out he was just waiting to take a piss. And I made a comment about that when we were both washing our hands. I said, dude, I thought you was in here putting on a show. And he says, wait a minute. Aren't you Joe from After Prison Show? And it's been so long since anybody's recognized lowly old me. You know, I thought that was really cool. So him and I got a chance to talk for a little bit. I told him I was going to shout him out. So here's me doing so. You go check out his Instagram as well if you guys use that platform. I'll link that down below. But he said, man, I remember watching you, and the one thing that drew me to you was how you just put it all out there, unapologetically. And man, that touched me. It really did. But content is kind of going out the window by the waistband. Get up out of here with your originality, with the heartfelt, because now it's all AI bullshit. And I don't think that that's going to hit the same in terms of thought-provoking, change-inducing. No. But it will garner the likes and the views. And when it comes to the ad revenues, hey, at the end of the day, let's be honest. That's the only thing that matters to most people who do content. Not to Joe, though. Not to Joe, though, I should say. Because Joe's not making a whole lot doing these videos. That's also me not being salty about the situation. It's just calling it 100% authentically. It probably will come across me being salty. Hey, what do we got right here?
Look at that road, man. She popping. Steam hitting the lens and everything.
Oh, my God. Look
give it
at
another
this.
minute. You see how soft it's getting. Hey, chat, y'all smell this through the phone?
Hey, chat, y'all smell this through the phone? Look at this. They got a freaking seafood boil in a prison commode. You know that shit's going to give you gangrene and West Nile. Man, the prison toilet is used for a lot of different things. Washing your clothes, keeping your milk cartons cool, talking through it. It's a communication device. It's also a shitter, okay? And nowadays, the prison etiquette is so out of control, you've actually got to sit down to pee in prison. Could you imagine being the biggest, baddest Wes Watson type of MFer up in the prison? And you got to sit down to pee? What the? Because they don't want to hear it. And here we got a video where they're making a freaking seafood boil. They're making a seafood boil right here. Look at it. And this is AI. This is an AI video. There's the Sora right there. Sora's going to have a lot of people salty. That shit looks so freaking real right there. Who knows? Maybe somebody will really try to do this in real life. Damn, why didn't I think of that when I was serving time? Hey, chat, can you smell this through the phone? Even the freaking narration of this video, the prompt that they have to be putting together to create this has got to be completely out of freaking control. It's got to be pages long. That shit is crazy right there. Look at the utensil he's using to pick that up. Look at that. That's magic, the way that one freaking little freaking scooper thingamajigger right there is just holding up. What is that? That's a potato, a shrimp, and maybe something else. I can't honestly tell. When it's magic, when it looks like it's magic in the video, that's when you know that shit is fake. Also, with that Sora freaking watermark over top of the video as well. When I tell you that it's over for the prison genre, this is exactly what I mean. How could anybody outside of prison or even inside of prison compete with this? And let me tell you something. I got to imagine that coming home from prison, shit, I don't know, from the year 2017 to current, it's got to fill guys with a lot of hope and ambition, thinking, man, when I get out, I'm going to start me some content. I'm going to create me a profile on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever, YouTube, and I'm going to start creating these videos. But then you see these type of videos when you're trying to look at the competition like, okay, how can I stand out? There's your competition right there. A freaking seafood boil in a prison toilet, and it's completely fake. It's an AI created video. And let me tell you, the guy that put that video together, I don't know who it is. I don't honestly care. But he's probably sitting in his underoos, eating a half pint of Haagen-Dazs, typing out a freaking prompt. He may never even have been to prison.
This video will get a ton of views.
You think about content and how out of control it is, and all it is geared toward ad revenue. One part of that is clipping, if you've heard of that. You've got these streamers. It was actually crazy. We were down at the Ole Miss South Carolina game, and they had a big streamer there while we were there, a guy named Sketch. I thought it was the craziest thing, but he had security and all sorts of shit, and I was right there. I didn't say nothing to him. Maybe I should have. Could have clout chased, glazed a little bit. Maybe it would have garnered me some views, but I just thought that it was cool watching the interaction between him and all of the people, and everybody knew who he was. But clippers will take that 8-hour stream that he filmed down there during that game, and they will bust that shit up into so many shorts with captions that don't even matter or match. They're just for freaking rage bait. That's exactly what creating this AI content is about to be like. It's about to be like clipping. The only difference is where a clipper gets paid per 1,000 views that they garner for that creator. This, you got to pay, as far as I know, and you've got to pay a hefty amount to be able to create this AI content. I should know. I've got an account. I'm actually getting ready to dabble with this as well. I don't necessarily know that I'll go down the prison genre route. I probably will, because I treat everything like a competition, and I'm like, okay, this is something I might actually be able to compete with. I used to create prison cartoons and newspaper cartoons while in prison. So coming up with funny captions and funny storyboards is something that I feel like I could do pretty well. I think I could compete with this. This is going to be all about who can create the most crazy of the crazy. I think I could stand a pretty good chance in that wheelhouse. But there's some other stuff that I want to do with it as well, too. I mean, F it. If it's here now, might as well win in Rome, as they say. But I got to imagine for a guy coming home from prison to see this has got to be defeating. Like, okay, this is my competition. How much does it cost to create a video? Whoa. Anywhere between $850 to $5,000, maybe even $7,000 plus credits. And to get a monthly subscription to a software like this, a platform that allows you to create these type of videos, it ain't cheap. And when you see one guy do something, you've got to copy that exactly and try to do it even better. So look at this. First, we had the seafood boil. Now we've got deep frying a whole ass bird up in a prison toilet. Hey, at least in this particular video, they've actually got a temperature gauge on this, and they've got the toilet wrapped in aluminum foil. Good on them.
Hear
Look
that?
at
That's
this.
straight holiday music, man.
Holiday
Whole bird
music.
singing. Look at that skin.
Bronze and beautiful, hold the plate steady.
Got it. Let it drip first.
Yep, coming out clean.
All cooked in a
Hear that? That's straight holiday music, man.
whole bird singing. Look at that skin.
Bronze and beautiful, hold the plate steady.
Got it. Let it drip first.
Yep, coming out clean.
All cooked in a
Hear that? That's straight holiday music, man.
Hear that? That's straight holiday music. Listen, I just wonder, do you have to write out the whole script for this? Like somebody actually, I mean, you might as well be an author at this point. Ain't nobody in prison doing no shit like this. But you got to imagine this is giving guys in prison life, ideas, excitement, like, oh shit, hey, look what they doing with the AI. Now we got to compete with that. Go gather up every white dude in the housing unit. We're going to walk them like dogs and make this shit look like freaking Gladiator, the movie. Let's build a chariot. Folks, it's sad to see that this is what the prison genre is. Now we're doing seafood boils and freaking deep frying turkeys out of a prison commode. How do you compete with that? Here's another seafood boil right here, and these guys are getting blunted as well. Look at what they're smoking right here. What's going on?
Bro, that broth hitting. Smell that spice?
Yeah, they got the whole cell smelling like the shore.
Yo, all for real cooking gumbo in the toilet, but I'm not complaining.
Hey, it stayed clean. We scrubbed it. Look at that crab leg, tender. And this
Bro, that broth hitting. Smell that spice?
Yeah, they got the whole cell smelling like the shore.
Yo, all for real cooking gumbo in the toilet, but I'm not complaining.
hey, it stayed clean. We scrubbed it. Look at
I mean, this shit, it's scary how real this looks, minus the fact that Buddy's blowing a shotgun with whatever he's smoking right there. Look at Buddy standing up by the wall right there. He's also holding some sort of a blunt as well. Yeah, man, it's going to be tough to compete with this. Everybody just jumped on this seafood boil bandwagon because it looked like a great idea. So this is unfortunately the one example that I have of this, the most prevalent one. But I'm sure that there's so much other content just like this that's being created in relation to the prison genre. The video's also got 1.4 million views and 7.4 thousand likes and reactions to it. And people are actually thinking that this is real. Like, how did they heat the toilet? So the sad thing is, it's hard to compete with this now. What's even more sad is that there's people who's going to believe that this is real, even with that Sora watermark all over it. Folks, it's sad to see that this is what the genre is becoming, but hey, it's to be expected. I did run across some authentic prison videos still being filmed from prison. So that gives me at least some hope that there is hope still left to be had in relation to the genre. I want to share those with you real quick. Here's a great video right here. Actually, I said great video. This is not very great of a video at all. It's actually pretty sad. Coming to us out of the state of Georgia, it says, my cellie being released today and he giving all his food away. Look at this, just throwing it from the top tier right there. And look at how these guys down below are scrambling like it's dollar bills being thrown. Most of these dudes probably don't have shit as it is, just trying to get in where they fit in, grab as much as they can. Look at that. Look, I saw one guy right here. He just grabbed one thing and he ran away. But everybody else, they're just trying to get as much as they possibly can. Probably most of those guys are not making commissary. And if you are making commissary down there in the state of Georgia, it's probably not the smartest thing to be doing. There's probably a lot of extortion and violence taking place. Run the risk of getting all of your shit stolen if you're not about that life at all. But yeah, it definitely looks like hard times down here in the state of Georgia, and we can tell that that's where they are because of those white jumpsuits with those blue stripes on them. I mean, this shit almost looks like some third world country type of shit. Does it not? This is sad. Based upon this video, you got to imagine, man, these dudes probably ain't eating that well up in there. You know, so to get whatever they can get their hands on, whether it's a food item or a hygiene product, man, like half of these dudes don't even got shirts on. Not saying that they don't have clothes to wear, but I guarantee most of those guys are not making commissary. Yeah. It's a little, what do you call it? It's a little dehumanizing, if you ask me. But I guess there's no greater feeling than going home. What if Buddy's release date ended up getting tricked up? I've seen that happen plenty of times where a dude gives away all of his commissary and then ends up getting taken out of the housing unit. Hey, B&B, you going home? He gets down to booking. They're running his fingerprints. They're running his name and his fingerprints, and turns out you got a warrant. You're going back up into the housing unit. And you done gave away all of your shit. Hey, we ain't no Indian givers here. There's no give backs. Shit, I'm going to have to come back and get that in blood. Can you imagine giving away all of your commissary and then coming back into the housing unit because your release date got tricked up? And they're like, nah, you ain't getting this back. You got to fight to get your stuff back. How wild would that be? How a good deed, some good karma, turns into a disciplinary infraction. One more for the road. I'd like to leave you with one more for the road. You know, I used to fancy myself as a guy that liked to make songs. I used to think I was going to be a rapper at one point in time. But I love to make songs and have fun remaking songs. Anyways, I ran across this guy. You run across a lot of music coming out of prison. This one really spoke to my soul, though. I don't know if Buddy's naked right here or not, but he's definitely shirtless.
I just called you collecting, you ain't answer, so you must be with you.
Where did they get auto-tunes in prison?
With you, you must think that I'm a fool. I don't care, just send this money for these fools.
Wow. Is that a Rolex Buddy's wearing right there? Definitely got to show off the watch.
I just called you collecting, you ain't answer, so you must be with you.
Ooh.
With you,
okay.
You must think that I'm a fool. I don't care, just send this money for these fools.
Yeah.
I just called you.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was getting a little carried away with it right there. I almost broke out into song. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard that song that goes, Josie's on a vacation far away. How's that song go? You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just want to use your love tonight. You ever heard that song? Yeah, I was starting to rewrite that, the last song that I was writing. It went, Jody's got your girlfriend up in the buck, ball naked and they're doing stuff, and nothing you can do cause you're locked up, sitting wondering what the Jody's gonna splooge your girl tonight. Jody's gonna splooge your girl tonight. Yeah, anyway, sorry, I know. Hey, look, that's all I got, folks. It's over for the prison genre. If you didn't know, well, you should be terrified now. I don't mean to fearmonger, But it is what it is. Wanted to share this with you. You guys let me know what you think, and look for AI-created content coming from yours truly very soon. I've actually already started creating it.
You got to be a warrior to survive these type of conditions. Prison isn't for the weak. You got to be a gangster.
Let me know what you think. Do you appreciate the AI content, or do you think it's the worst thing that humanity has ever created? Terminator 2 tried to tell you. Skynet. Remember all of that. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about all I shared in this. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace. Why did it sound like that? Peace.